Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Omsi 2. Today, we'll be taking charge of a Route 12 bus here on the Omsi London, in the first of our new mini-series on the channel. So, with the release of your new London routes for Omsi 2, I thought we'd do a separate video for each of these routes that the add-on now gives us. And so, starting off with 12, go through each route in the order that the system gives us, go through the history of the route, history of the buses, history of the area driving through, and kind of cover every bit of where we're going in local London knowledge depth. So I thought, fun little mini-series, something to give you guys a bit of facts and history about the different services you get in London, and a bit of chance to drive buses through the city as well. So we jump in the cab, set the bus up, and prepare ourselves now for our first journey. So first things first, as we are using the Omsi Bus Company Simulator overlay for this, and go through the main setup. So set our bus today for the line number 12. This will be to Quebec 216, and this will be the 11:59 departure. So that is that. We'll close the overlay, we'll hide the side menu, and we'll now set the bus up. So electrics come on, a few seconds to power the systems, engine comes on. We'll now head to the Mobitech display at the top here and prepare our route. So let this all load, there we go. Sets the route up to number 12. So 3 and 2, 12. Our destination today is Camberwell Green, Camberwell Road. There we go. So the little arrow in the circle on top right, that means that the roll blinds are changing. I don't think the bus actually has the working roll blinds just yet, and therefore will just be blank boxes on both the front and the side, but it's only a small little detail. I'm sure with updates that will all change. But yes, with about 40 seconds to go now, we shall set the bus to drive, park brake comes off, and make our way to our first stop, which is Oxford Circus. Keep on the left there for any cars that may file into our lane. So red lights though, which I'll stop for a couple of moments. Very shortly we'll be on our route. So like I say, the main purpose of this little mini-series is kind of do a different route each and every day, following the release of this add-on, and a chance for us to really look at this route in a bit more detail, a bit more depth. Should be fun. I'm just going to have a lot of fun recording this, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun watching this as well. That's the right indicators, we're going to right and turn. I do expect us to get relatively busy during our journey today. The new route master, the NRM, has a capacity of 73 people within the sim, so that's both sitting and standing passengers. So, a lot for us to really manage that. That's what's first. A rather tight turn. It's fine. It's fine. A bus lane to use as well. Slightly clips the curb, but not damage it anyway, that's perfect. Cool, so the Route 12, it started off on the 3rd of October 1934 and was a run from Harleston, Walsall Junction to South Croydon. The route itself pretty much just follows the same trip, with only slight changes where the route starts, where the route ends. For example, for many years, Norwood Junction and Notting Hill Gate were two main terminals of the route, and even to this day, it still sees buses start and stop in those locations, as the Route 3, depending on day of the week, it changes, start location changes the end location, so it's a variable route, shifts from day to day. And for the Omsi in London, we're driving the Oxford Circus to Camberwell Green portion of this route. Right, first stop, open the doors. Now passengers to board.
Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
You'll notice that with the new route master, it's got 3 sets of doors, like the standard London 2. So you've got front, middle and rear. And essentially it's like an ode to the original route masters within London. So the original buses you could enter through the rear door, you had the conductor doing tickets and all that. Although these days it's actually taken out of service, because one downside to having a rear door is that a lot of people actually use it to, well, fare evade. So you go through the back door, you won't press your Oyster cards or your Bankless contacts card, and you'll essentially get on the bus for free. So they've noted that. Generally, the rear door will stay closed throughout the entire journey, and buses are being replaced by the SRM, the Son of Route Master. So it's pretty much the same shell, just the rear door's been replaced by 4 row seats. Right, we now need to file into the right-hand lane. Right in front of us is Oxford Circus, and just ahead, Regent Street, perhaps London's most expensive road. Stands need for shops, stands need for residential, with a few flats that exist on the upper levels. I must say, right now with all the Christmas lights out, it is a really, really pretty road to walk down during nights. So let the taxi go ahead. The van's going to move forward, I believe. Essentially, going to wait for a gap in the traffic. So taxi there is waiting, thank you very much. That's the screen. Sneaking through.
Conduit Street, Hamley's Toy Store.
Perfect. We'll be careful. It's a 20 mph speed limit for a lot of London's roads. Try not to travel too fast. Also, try not to aggravate the passengers too much with the starting and stopping. I'll be very careful with the acceleration sometimes. As I play with keyboard, it can be a little bit, not difficult by any means, but require a bit more management. Little bit of lighter touching on the accelerator. Go. Conduit Street, Hamley's Toy Store coming up next. And yes, the joy of any London bus driver, the red traffic lights you must stop at every few moments. There we go. But I must say, based on what I've seen of the route so far, the Omsi London is by far a more than faithful recreation of what London's like. The buildings look pretty much spot on. The roads look rather good, all very nicely portrayed. Okay, so no one's waiting, no one's to get off, preparing without stopping. It's very well recreated, very faithful. I've got no problems with routes whatsoever.
Piccadilly Circus.
So Piccadilly cycling up now. Someone's pressed the bell to get off, so we'll get to stop there regardless. And the taxi to pull off. And we carry on. Guess I'll say, if there is a downside to this bus, it would be the door controls in this, as you are required to open all 3 sets of doors, front, middle and rear, and while you can close the forward 2 doors using the 2 keyboard buttons at the front and middle, the rear doors you have to close by the button on the right, so will take a little bit of getting used to, but generally not too bad, I guess. Other buses like the City Bus 200, City Bus 400 and Evo, as in you have 2 doors, a little bit easier to manage the doors on that, but it's not bad by any means, just takes a little bit of fiddling around. Right, just up ahead now, you can see the displays of Piccadilly Circus, which is basically London's answer to Times Square in New York. Traffic has died down a little bit, I must admit. A few cars dotted around, but there we go. Walk around upon it now, presumably because 1, they're stuck behind my bus, taking up 2 lanes, and 2, red lights everywhere. Let's go across. So take a right-hand lane, so now that's actually to pass. Check the mirror, mirror's clear. It's off. Cut back to the
Chill
left
out, man.
again.
Jesus.
Next stop, Haymarkets. So not that stop, but next one. Got to be very careful with London, where you may have multiple bus stops with the same name, but different stopping locations. So, for example, here we're coming into stop F, which means there are at least 5 stops on the name Haymarket Street, depending on where you drive.
12 to Camberwell Road,
Thank you very
Meadow
much.
Street.
Keep an eye on the mirrors, make sure that everyone's disembarked, which they have done. 1, 2, 3. Let's carry on. Indicators out, and off we go. So like I say, the Route 12 has pretty much operated down this same journey since 1934 when it first started. These days operated by the new route master and the bus company Go Ahead London. The 12 actually has seen a few other buses as well come down it recently. For example, I don't quite know the name of it, but it once had a 3-axle extra
Trafalgar
long
Square,
bus
Charing Cross Station.
running on it not that long ago actually. So it does seem to prove, or seem to operate as a testing ground for a lot of buses as well. I think 12 also ran with the experimental e-ink displays as well for the. It's like a roll band replacement because London buses have forever used roll blinds to destination. So it's no digital displays, no digital screens. It's like an ode to old days. Use the manual roll blinds. So they tested out TfL a couple of e-ink displays, which I believe some of the NRMs on 12 have received. But that test was deemed a failure, I believe, due to the sensitivity to screens. So one bump was pretty much enough to shatter the display. Pretty much killed the system, so deemed a failure. We'll see if something similar pops up in the future. Right, we're going to to the right. Got to squeeze down that very narrow path just there. Yeah, bus and bike lane. Right, in we go.
I must say, your driving is impeccable. No, I'm very joking.
Okay, slight clip to the curb there, but I don't think that was too bad. Right, Trafalgar Square, no one's signals gets off, and nobody is waiting for us, so we'll carry on. I must say, having the Omsi London GPS on the lower left there does make life so much easier compared to driving with the giant arrows on top of the screen.
Whitehall, Horse Guards Avenue.
Bit of
Watch out for traffic when leaving the bus.
Oh yeah, very nice. The different announcements as well. I don't know, having the overlay like that, having GPS like that, it makes it a bit easier to navigate. Less to worry about in regards to spotting arrows. Instead, just follow the red line. Take this exit here. Next stop is Horse Guards Parade. Take the bus down left. Got the sedan right there trying to squeeze into our lane, so we'll let them file in. Green light, so we carry on. Now this is the road that takes us right outside of 10 Downing Street, as well as the House of Parliament. Also spot the Cenotaph as we drive past it as well. The light's going to beat it, going to beat it, going to beat it. Okay, we didn't beat it, but well, I've seen plenty of bus drivers and drivers beat the light like that.
Horse Guards Parade.
I'm not going to fuss. Right, Horse Guards Parade.
12 to Camberwell Road.
Hello, driver. Hello. 1, 2, 3. And on to go. Indicates out. That drives that we are leaving. There we go. We're carrying 10 passengers now. That's about 73 capacity. I'll say not as busy as I thought it would be. Perhaps when we cross the Thames,
Westminster
things start
Station,
to
Parliament
fill up a little
Square.
bit.
Chill out,
I
man.
must say, your
Jesus.
driving
Yeah,
is
bit of a heavy break
impeccable.
that.
No, I'm only joking. Can you stop the...
So, here we go. There's, oops. It's all load, so. There's, Westminster Palace to our left. A second to load. There's Westminster Palace. There's, St Mary's Church. 10 Downing Street is going to be hidden away on the side here. Just behind all of this, we're going to have, Buckingham Palace. Green light, off we go. Also, Arscourt Station, Arscourt train station, just to our left. There we go, now we're getting busy.
12. 2 Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
Hello, driver. Hiya, driver.
Hey!
Hello there,
how's it
hello
going?
there, hello. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Indicate out, and off we go. See if we try and beat the green light up ahead. Okay, left. And yeah, that's fine, we can do it. See a slight glitch in
St
building up
Thomas's
ahead.
Hospital, County Hall. A light here for London Eye.
Sure, once you drive close to it, that'll start to
Chill out, man.
check
Jesus.
with it.
Impeccable. No, I'm very
There we go, that's better.
She's your badge number. I'm going to report you.
Oops. So, House of Parliament. We'll try and get this slightly tight position we've got ourselves in. Great taxi isn't going anytime soon. Just up ahead, and now across the River Thames. Try to edge away from the curb there if possible. Try to use my cyclists. Don't get ourselves too close to that. There's the London Eye. There's the Bagman Bridge. Very, very well done this. Next station, sorry, next stop even. St Thomas's Hospital. I don't know why I said station there. I think I got myself stuck with Train Sim World. Next station, St Thomas's Hospital. Next bus stop. Although the automatic announcements do that for us anyway. So on passengers get off, we do need to stop in regards to people boarding.
12. 2 Camberwell
Oop.
Road,
And there's
Medlar
the-
Street.
just in time for our bus. Welcome on board. Welcome on board as well. Those 2 boards. Close the doors. Indicates out. Yeah, we have just missed the green lights. Just missed it. Whoops. On the curb there. So we can get off of that. Perfect. To be fair, if someone spawned in right now, throw them in anyway. Not really at the bus stop. Technically we shouldn't, but some bus drivers are nice, they do let you on if you have just missed it. So, very, very precious routes. I mean, having lived in London all my life, I can recognise pretty much everything here. Hospital to our right, Westminster Bridge behind us, Palace on the other side. City Hall be to our left actually, so if I pop over to here, that'll be City Hall. There we go. Green lights, go. We're going to head all the way around towards Waterloo at the stage.
Lower Marsh.
We're now signal to the right hand side, check for traffic, traffic's clear, that's good. And that right there, I believe it's either Waterloo Station or London Bridge. I believe it's Waterloo actually, given that's well, driving towards Waterloo. Also, London Bridge is slightly further down the Thames, more towards Tower Bridge. We're 2 minutes behind schedule now, watching the clock at the top there ticking behind. As long as we're within 5 minutes, we'll be alright, we're deemed on time. But red lights do not help that in any way. Slow lag behind, slow things down. Don't get too late. And of course, green light for us. But because of the oncoming traffic, you can't drive. Well, that was a waste of a green light. The life of a London bus driver. Seriously, I would not have the patience to do this. Fair play, London bus drivers. Fair play. I wonder actually, could we squeeze into the left lane and kind of make our own way out? I think we can do. Doing clipping, which is good. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So watch the lights. And turn green again. Looking at the strong path, let's take us underneath the station. But kind of just, well, we're just going to beeline it to the right hand side. There we go. Waits for a gap in the oncoming traffic. Ah, there we go. Traffic jams. Not going to cause us problems. There you go. You'll siphon through. That light's gone red again. As soon as the Prius moves, we should be able to use that for our own opportunity. That but car's waiting. Thank you, taxi. Flash the lights. Say thank you. And very gently turn to the right. Perfect. Cool. Making progress. It took us 2 minutes. Let's up lower marsh. Someone has to get off here, so we shall be stopping.
To Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
Oh, hello. Morning, sweetie.
Hello. Robin's gotten off. 1, 2, 3. Let's get going. Indicate out and drive. Hopefully now that we've passed the main deadlock zone for all traffic, we'll have a chance to speed up a little bit, get closer to our timing there. Try not to overspeed too much. We need to push ever so slightly above the limits. We don't get too much of a
Lambeth North
too much of a blame
Station.
game with that. Green lights, thank you very much. North Station, just around the corner. I think it's the Northern Line station, isn't it? I believe so. I believe so.
To Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
So you're ready. Getting about a minute on our time there. Good time, good time. Next up, St George Circus. We're also now
St
south side of the
George's
river.
Circus.
Therefore, scenery in this part of London generally more varied. It's less, I guess, less historic in a way, because south side of the river didn't get too much of a build-up until quite late in London history. Historically, north side of the river was always the rich part, the expensive part. It's where the Romans focused on their construction. During the Victorian years, where it got built up. South side was generally quite industrial, quite marshy, quite muddy, so as a result, due to downstable ground, things were not really built here until much more recent. Also why there's not much in regards to London Underground south side of the river, because the clay underneath London here is not suitable for building trains under. If you look at the overground services, or overground and all the other national rail services that are on their metro routes down here, generally a lot more varied, but in terms of dedicated underground trains, not much apart from, well, the Northern Line
Camberwell Road,
and a few
Meadow Street.
Surface District Line stops.
Elephant and Castle, London Road.
This car's coming up next, just to our right next on the GPS, the train track coming out. That I believe is going to be London Roads Depot for the Bakerloo line. Oops, sorry, wrong lights, not our lights. Although, that being said, bus lane, we're going to try and squeeze into the right there. What? Another slightly tighter junction for us. Probably should have pushed out earlier, but hey. We'll manage that. Green lights, there you go, red. Squeeze to the right. Like I say, London bus drivers must have the patience of, well, the patience of a rock, because I could not sit at red lights all day. Then I've got to schedule keep to the fact we're now going to be slightly late with 5 minutes behind. We are really starting to lag now. Just sitting here, red lights, hoping for movement, knowing that you're pretty much never going to have an on-time service unless you're outside of rush hour or doing a night's bus. Right, let's try and catch up. Roundabout coming up now. Oh no, sorry. Not quite, because you guessed it. A red light. One day we'll get ourselves a clean slate. I'm sure some of the other routes in this add-on give us a bit more of a chance as well to go. Right, green lights. Green means go. Almost low bound about that. I expect you to slip their card as you go around it. Indicates in, so that we're going in. You have to stop there because you're going to squeeze yourself in anyway. Indicates out. I'll let you pass. Thank you. The mucky turn that was not too well executed. That.
Chill out now, Jesus. Is impeccable. Nah, I'm very joking. Can you stop the bus, please? I want to get off before I throw up.
The bus passengers. No, that was not a very good stop there. Right, let's get going. Green lights. I hope you're a taxi in front of us, because you should not be in a bus lane unless you're a bus or a taxi.
To Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
Timing back, good to see.
Elephant and Castle Station.
Let's push to the right now. Squeeze in behind the 468s. I'll say, so far so good. Fighting time, but generally not too bad. I'll also check later as well, slightly delayed as well on departure. I don't think they're doing too badly. Right, back to the bus line. Bus and taxi squeezing late. You. That bus stop you've waited at. No, not a red light. Another taxi in front of that. 'Crouch here with that taxi straight off the line there. Stopped by the bus in front of it.
To Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
Not too far off our destination now. People slowly disembarking the bus. So I'm going to increase as we get closer towards Camberwell Garage.
Larkham Street.
Try and push for the bus lane again on the left of that. If it wasn't for bus lanes, this would be the impossibility of a journey rather than a bus journey. Right, wait for that to go green, push to the left. Looks like quite a clear road ahead of us. No one seems to get off at Larkham Street. My hope is no one gets on, and therefore that skips us quite a few seconds as well on the actual timetable. But hey, one way to find out. Also never said, the NRM is a hybrid bus that doesn't really work. It's got a hybrid engine, it's got a battery that provides no charge, no power. As a result, pretty much
East
the entirety
Street.
of the time it's running on engine power. It's not a very well designed bus, the NRM, I must admit. It looks alright, but that's about as good as you can get with it in terms of price. It looks alright. Oops. See the flying there, the bus hasn't quite gone to plan. Try and squeeze in behind you. Thank you very much, red lights. Oh boy, I'm just, well, I can see the queue ahead of us. That's going to take us a little while. Oh, and it's roadworks. Goody goody. Stuck at roadworks, long queue ahead of us. The story of a London bus driver. So we have, yeah, we've gone around the ambulance there, not a problem. Oh, and there's a three-way junction as well, so you have to wait for the side road to clear, as well as the mirror ahead of us. Say goodbye to our time record there. About 5.9 minutes will slowly fade away. The street coming up shortly. There you go, got some traffic moving. Quite a bit of actually going. I'll say, might say it's not enough for us to get around it, but very likely actually enough for us to get onto the next green. Yeah, that's alright. Going down now, 176. Alright, main road's now on red. Side road goes green for a little bit. Pushing our lights. Should go green momentarily. I don't have to deal with this junction too many times. I know that at least one of the routes for, well, definitely, well, two other routes, 486 and 17, whatever it was, also drive down here as well, so I've got to deal with it at least two more times. Hopefully, on our side. Go. Oh, just in time as well. That's why I like change. That's why I like change. We went past it.
I must say, your driving is impeccable. Nah, I'm very joking. Can you stop the bus, please? I want to get off before I throw up.
Arthur Street's next one for us. Actually, have them over his bus. What's about Arthur Street? If no one came, no one came.
"12 to Camberwell Road, Medlar Street."
Go. Go around him. He departed before us.
Westmoreland Road.
Now he's getting off. Now he's getting on. Okay, he's also going to skip it. No, we're going to make that. We're going to make that.
Camberwell Road, Albany
Line
Road.
does this trip. And of course, another red light greets us. Some of the modified buses. When the NRM first came out, there were no windows on the upper deck, nothing for you to open and close. As a result, during the summer, this bus became basically an oven. The upper deck was so hot and unbearable to sit in, so that's some of the modified buses with the upgraded upper deck.
Let me off this bus.
here comes Camberwell Road. Let's go now. Let's go. Camberwell Road, Albany. Timetable is that. There you go. So 12:25 minutes to be here. It's currently 12:32. 7 minutes behind. Got 1, 2, 3 more stops, and then finish off the garage. Getting off. We're waiting for his bus, so we're going to go around him. Next stop, Boyer Road.
Bowyer Place.
Boyer Place. If I only read GPS correctly, I'd know that. I love this. I love this so much. Sitting here. Yeah, why do you bus driver Drawyah? It's just like this. Literally right down to the T, it's just like this. Fun facts, I don't have a driver's license. I've never driven a car before.
12 to Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
You know if that's behind us, are you? Yes, you are.
Medlar Street.
There we go.
To Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
There we go. I believe that was our penultimate stop. And our next stop is to the ends. That's a 176 to our right. Stand there for buses who don't quite go into the depot, aka all buses that are not part of Go Ahead
Camberwell
London.
Green. Bus will wait here whilst drivers are changed.
Not quite. I believe this bus going to the depot afterwards. You can see on the map there as well, the red line does go further than Camberwell Green, so we can take it into the depot and park it away for the afternoon. Fire truck to our right. Any second now. Oh yeah, I'll also give you a heads up as well. So all of the other videos like this, I'm sure will be the same, where 90% of it is waiting at red lights, waiting for something to happen. But like I say, I've lived in London all my life. I've been a passenger on these buses for all my life. This is pretty much a normal process for us. You drive, you wait. You drive, you wait. Eventually reach destination. This being a central London route, it's going to get busier and busier. Right, let's finish using routing out with GPS actually.
12 to Camberwell Road, Medlar Street.
Is this new mechanical right? Do I go further down? Oh, okay. I feel like somewhere's like a roundabout, something we're meant to go navigate around. Actually, not too sure. We'll follow GPS. GPS knows everything. We'll follow that, find out. We are an empty bus now, empty going into depot. Therefore a bit more freedom as to how erratically we drive. Right, there we go. I see on GPS now. So there is a side road we're meant to take. Use that to loop around and then our journey. So pass through through that. Indicate to the left. Very careful now turning into these tighter side roads. No oncoming traffic. It's fine. Just gonna make a right. Of course, can't bring this to an end without at least one more red light to wait for. And because I'm on the side road, the main road will be green for a little bit longer than us. Imagine radios right now, Quebec 206, where are you? You expected about 6-7 minutes ago. Depot. Let's not go ahead, London. Got the black trim there on the bottom bus there. It's a couple of years ago, that was completely fine. Although 2007, I think it was, they marked that as illegal. I don't know why exactly. I think it's down to the fact that London buses are supposed to be red in colour and therefore uniform. As a result, no branding's allowed. I think if you look at some of the original Stagecoach London buses, they had the white tick on the front of the bus there. I always loved that. I always loved that old Stagecoach livery. It's sadly a thing of the past now. I'm going to go around here actually because we don't need to stop at the bus stop. Good taxi there. Very careful, Drawyah. Come on. Squeeze to. Gee, what are you doing there? I mean, that I'm sure was revenge for the what I just did there. But come on, you should not be cutting across 3 lanes in front of a bus. That's not right. Screw you. That's not fair. That's not fair. Seriously, come on. Now to the curb as well. It's also something not recommended. You can do it as well, are you? In a Prius? Yes, yes, you have. You've gone through a bus as well to get there. London bus drivers, you do not get paid enough. Actually, speaking of that, I believe the Unite Drivers Union actually plans to go on strike regarding bus driver salaries at some point. At the point of recording this, I believe it's still be taken to the poll, so drivers get a chance to vote on it. But they are still open for discussion regarding the driver salary situation. I'll have to ask my driver friends if he's unionised or not. I've never asked them. Right, let's get going. Going to take the back entrances to the depot. South Eastern Railways bridge there. South Eastern Railways in Thameslink, I believe. Southern? Maybe Southern as well? I'm not entirely sure. But I know South Eastern operate a lot of the stations out in this part of London. Thameslink do get a few services as well. They head out to the east. Gosh, about awkward parking spaces there. I hate to be driving down that when this is full. Right, welcome to Camberwell Bus Garage. Stop until clear. So we're going to go into the depot itself. Wait for the bridge to open, taking the middle row. They've opened one door for us. I was expecting. Okay. That's in reverse. on. We can park brake for that. There we go. Really? Not going to open for us anymore? There we go. Right, so into the depot and into one of the holding slots right towards the front end. And perfect. So, bit of a mix of okay and too late. So I presume about 50% in terms of the punctuality there. Terminator, and I've got a record, so we stopped at 15 stops on the way. Okay, 5 on time, 10 delay, maybe about a third of the stops. No crashes, seemed like a rather decent route that overall. Covered 8.4 kilometres, sold on tickets or Oyster card these days. In terms of satisfaction, passenger comforts, apparently 100%, extending 100%. Driving, 16.4, what can you say? Driver rating, if anyone gets over 30, that's a miracle in the sim. There we go, 75%, 993 at 1320. I think that brings us to the end of our first route as well. So that was route 12 on the Omsi Adam London. That was a trip from Oxford Circus to Camberwell Garage. And yeah, very fun start to our first little mini-series as well. So back in tomorrow for the next routes on the Omsi Adam London. So do stick around for that. Otherwise, thank you for watching. You take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.